everyone, welcome back. In this video, we are going to look at the ABRSM Digital Exam Grade 6 Non-Paddle Harp and what you should focus on if you're preparing for this level. Remember, for Grade 6, there is a prerequisite you need for ABRSM Grade 5 Theory, Practical Musicianships or Jazz before you can entry. So, ABRSM already assume you understand basic music theory and musicianship. From the 2025 syllabus, you choose 4 pieces, one from each of list A, B, and C, or your own choice pieces. The repertoire is now clearly advanced, intermediate, both technically and musically. You can see a big style groups in the list. First, they have Baroque, Classical, etude type pieces mainly in list A, J.S. Bach Presto and variation on a Scottish air, J.S. Bach Prelude in C minor, BWV 999, Concone Prelude in B flat, OP 26, Vianney Brividi, Heller Etude in C, T.C. Kelly Interlude, Bonicelli Prelude in A minor. These demand clean technique, control, and strong musical structure. Celtic or folk and lyrical contemporary pieces, mainly on list B. Irish song like In Dau Agliana, Shu Aru Non Oj U Anibatu, Catriona McKay, Swan LK 243, D. McNulty Basu, Dunstan Home, Alfredo, The Butterfly Trees. Traditional melodies like Amazing Grace, Moonlight Lullaby, Indonesian Managerin. Here the challenge is expressive line, color, and stylistic sensitivity. Virtuosic folk, Latin, contemporary show pieces is almost mainly in list C. Catriona McKay, Loon Mountain Moose, O'Clarilyn Plancy Johnson, Alfredo Dancer de Luma, Tu Fantana, Gowan Squad, Habanera Capatrosa, The Leaping Salmon. These pieces often have higher energy, advanced rhythm, and technical firework. So what exactly is different at grade 7 compared with grade 5? You would think like a musician, not like a student. By grade 6, the examiner expects you to make interpretive decision, not just play what's written. You need to decide on a definite tempo for each piece and stick to it, with only intentional rubato. Shape long-range dynamics, not just a bar-by-bar crescendo, but thinking over whole pages. Understand the style, like Bass versus Irish, slow air versus Latin dance, all need different articulations and timing. Before recording, ask, if someone only listened to my audio, would they hear my interpretation or just a careful reading of notes? Aim for the first. Second, higher technical control. Study that really expose you. List A has several pieces that function like true studies. Concone, Prelude in B flat, Heller, Etude in C, Pistache by Andrews, Bach Preludes, Van Eyck Brividi. These reveal uneven fingers, tension in the hand, sloppy crossings, lack of control in fast broken chord or arpeggios. Your practice focus should be slow, extremely accurate practice first, clean placing, even tone, relaxed hand, gradual tempo building with a metronome, keeping the sound musical, not mechanic, isolating problem pattern, for example, a 4-note pattern that keep trapping you up, and drawing them out of context before putting the passage back together. In grade 6, just about hanging on technically is not enough. The examiner wants to hear that you're in control of the piece. You're in control of the piece. Third, rhythm, rubato, and complex group. Compared with grade 5, the rhythmic and stylistic demands have gone up again. Baroque and early music like Bach, Van Eyck, rhythmic clarity and a steady basic pulse, but musical shaping, not strict metronomic playing. Gypsy or world or folk dance, for example, like Can You See My Gargisa? And Tusi is a gypsy song. Indonesian Mandarin, Irish dances, and planties. These often use syncopation or uneven phrases length. You must feel the dance character inside the rhythm. For Latin or rhythmic showpieces like Alfredo, Lawrence Scott, advanced version of Danza de Luzma, Tu Fantana, Habanera Capricciosa, The Leaping Salmon. They need a strong inner grooves and accurate offbeat. Hand must work independently while keeping the overall pulse rock solid. Practice as 5. Clap or tap tricky rhythm slowly, away from the heart. Count subdivisions, for example, 1 and 2 and or 1 E and A. Up to you. Practice with a metronome, but also sometimes turn it off and see if you can keep the groove steady on your own. Listen to recording or original style, gypsy, Latin, etc. to internalize the feel. 4th, tone, color, and expressive details. The Greek 6 list include many pieces where colors and nuance are central. Irish air, like Binda Agriana, Shuneron, Knowledge ou I'm Dineville, contemporary lyrical work, for example, like Dunstan Home, McNulty Basu, or Alfredo, The Butterfly Trees. Colorful arrangements, Amazing Grace, Moonlight Lullaby. What the examiner is listening for, phrasing that breathes natural, rises and falls, not flat line. Careful shaping of individual notes and chord, slightly learn into important notes, soften ending to avoid abrupt cut-off. Color changes near the soundboard equal to PDLT versus more in the middle of the string. Varying weight of touch for different modes. For example, prayerful, dreamy, or intense. At this level, you should be able to paint a picture with your sound, not just be in tune and in time. 5. Stamina, pacing, and mental focus. Many grade 6 pieces are longer and more intense than earlier grades. For digital exam, these introduce 2 challenges. First, physical stamina. You need to keep your hand and shoulder relaxed over longer stretches. Plan your breathing and small physical releases between phrases. Second is the mental focus. It's easy to start well and lose concentration halfway through. Practice playing the entire pieces in one go regularly, aiming for a consistent tone and tempo all the way through. In fast or virtuous pieces, for example, like Le Maintenu, Danza de Luzma, The Leaping Salmon, those songs that always start practice at full speed, have some sections where you play the whole piece slightly under tempo, focusing on control and musical line. Before submitting, ask yourself, do my 4 pieces show contrasting style? For example, Baroque plus Celtic air plus Latin or showpiece. Second, is my technical control mostly secure? Is there any few buzzes, clean crossings, a steady tempo? Third, can I clearly hear phrasing, dynamics, and tone colors? Does the overall video like a short coherent recital, not just 4 exam attempts? Final message to grade 6 candidate. Grade 6 is a big step. ABRSM now expect you to be a musician with options, not just student playing correct notes. They are testing whether you can handle a fan technique with control and security, shape whole pieces with a clear sense of form and direction, manage more complex rhythms and groove, especially in folk, gypsy, and Latin styles. Use tone colors and expressive detail to bring out the character of each piece. If you plan your practice around this point and not only on getting through the note, your grade 6 digital exam can sound mature, expressive, and generally convincing.